Hello everyone, my name is Abigail Furr and this is my presentation over E. Douglas Wunder. So who is this guy? Douglas Wunder is well known for his sculptural titanium jewelry. He has worked in the jewelry and design industry for 30 plus years and travels across the US demoing, showing, and selling his work at art shows and exhibitions. When he's not on the road, he lives in Kutztown, Pennsylvania with his wife and daughter. And although he originally got his degree in communication studies from the University of Iowa, after only taking 7 credit hours of metalsmithing and jewelry, he has built a very successful career in this field. Okay, so here is a list of notable achievements. I'm not going to read through these or spend too much time on them. I did want to point out the Saul Bell Award, and I will reference back to that later. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Douglas Wunder's artistic style is mainly comprised of 3D layered geometric forms. He primarily works in titanium, which is a lightweight, strong, hypoallergenic, and non-corrosive material. And he also uses gold and silver quite regularly. His pieces are constructed in multiple layers, separated by metal tube spacers and connected with rivets. And he likes to take inspiration from both natural and technological forms. Okay, taking a closer look at this pendant from the previous page, you can see from the side how he layers these plates to get a shadow box-like 3D effect. And I think it's pretty cool how he included this side profile. I wanted to show it off. Okay, so I have a collection of his works. They are chronological. So this is one of his very, very early pieces, and it is probably one of the more colorful ones that we will see today. But this is an anodized pin in titanium and silver. And this one, stark contrast already, we see this one is a lot more geometric based. Going back to this contrast between natural forms and technology or geometrics, you can see how this is a running theme through his work as we go. Okay, this is another pin. I think this one is very interesting because it is mainly comprised of geometrics, very heavily abstracted, but it does have a movement almost like a bird in flight. Okay. In this piece, we start to see him working with these multi-layered frames with hand-sawn cutout plates in between. And this one is a lot more reminiscent of his more recent work. We will continue to see this develop over time. He does have styles and techniques that he continuously uses. And then there's also a few forms that he only uses a few times, but he knows what he likes, but he also likes to experiment. Speaking of experimenting, I think this form in particular is pretty interesting because we have the sphere in the center, but it seems like it's placed in the midst of a riverbed. But yeah, I really like these, and I do like how he was able to get that kind of natural flow of the river in metal. This is a set of cufflinks from 2010, made out of silver and titanium. We see that motif again of the circular frames with the swirls in between of the multiple layers and contrast of those different layers. Okay. This is a piece called Ring of Fire. It is a necklace. And from here on out, I think I focused a little bit on these statement necklace pieces, mainly because I just think they're very impressive. But as y'all know, I have a particular interest in these myself. But yes, this is made of titanium, gold, and silver. I especially like how he has experimented with chain and like the form of the chain itself in this piece. Okay, this is 3 lines and 9 dots bracelet. This I just thought was a very unconventional form, and I wanted to include it because I just think it's really cool how he experiments with these different shapes to make something that's wearable and intricate. Okay, So the award that I was talking about earlier, I believe it was the Saul Bell Award. I believe this was the piece that won that designation in that competition or exhibition. Yes. But this is Orchid Neck Piece. And I love the movement that the chain has and kind of the structure of it compared to the flowiness of the flower itself. Okay, and here's another bracelet called Scramble. I just love how structured this is, but also the curves are everywhere. It reminds me a lot of Art Nouveau. Okay, and then this is a more recent piece, Centaurus A from 2018. And you can see again, like he kind of likes to do these celestial motifs, and I really like how he is using this anodized titanium to get that color change within. And I believe, yes, this is a pin, and I like that he experiments with the shape of it as well, because I feel like a lot of his work is in those frames. But this one, it seems a lot more open with a lot more movement. Okay. This is a neck piece called Unity. And in this one, we again see a very dynamic chain. We also see some pops of red, and this is powder coat, which he doesn't use that often, but whenever he does, like I really like his mastery of contrast in that. But yes, he also quite often does sandblasting to get texture on his titanium. And that is particularly evident in these detail shots where you can see like these circles on circles on circles. Okay. And then this is the most recent piece of his that I've included, 1877. I couldn't find the reason or significance for the name of this piece, but I just thought it was so cool how instead of like it looks very still, but the pieces actually do uh, move kind of on hinges independently of each other. I do really like how he's layered the metal, and instead of using a lot of negative space in his, like he has in his other pieces, this one has a more solid feel to it and it feels a bit more substantial. There is also a detail shot of the hinge he uses with this, and I thought it was very interesting how he chose to highlight this in his gallery. Okay, so as for similar practitioners, in an interview, he did note that he does look to Albert Paley for inspiration, or that he is an inspiration to him. This is Albert Paley's piece, Paragon, from 2011, which is formed and fabricated weathering steel, stainless steel, and bronze. And the similarities I see here between like geometric forms, this three-dimensional construction, considering being viewed from multiple sides, and just the use of metalwork. And I also really like his use of neutrals and just a pop of color. Okay. Michael Dale Bernard is another artist that I find both similarities and differences between him and Wunder's work. This set is the Fresh Chains series. This is upcycled steel, vinyl, abs plastic, sterling silver, rabbit fur scraps, and powder coat. So beyond using a metal that I would consider a bit more non-traditional in jewelry, it's very unconventional chain in of itself, with these more geometric forms. And I also like how he's mixing more precious metal, like sterling silver, with those non-traditional materials. Okay, and the third practitioner I wanted to note was Christina Smith. This is her piece in Enfranchisement by Gender. She's a silversmith, and she works a lot in these silhouettes. And I really liked how she's using these organic silhouettes with that geometric context of the box and frame. Okay, thank you so much for listening. And here's my sources. Have a nice day.